Hey guys, my name is JessiMew, and welcome back to an honestly very hard challenge. In the last episode, the scorpion tail became the latest prominent feature in our tribe mates. Not only was Kaya's newest baby born with a scorpion tail, just like we had been hoping for Romeo before, but we also discovered a brand new wild scorpion in the grasses. Inclined to bear a striking resemblance to Kaya and her family. It makes me wonder if there's some sort of connection between the two. I think he's probably only sticking around here because he knows there's something good in it for him, though. We found him very, very young, and he was pretty much just trying to steal our berries. So he knows there's definitely food here, and he knows that we have some good roots under our control too. So this is probably just his best bet for survival. That being said, I feel like he does share a true connection with Coca-Cola. There is a true friendship between the two. He trusts her like he's never been able to trust anybody before, and I'm sure that's because they're so similar in age. So she's going to stick by his side for now. In fact, he's leading her toward one of his very few remaining food sources. We figure that this berry bush over here was probably his and his alone, though he's not going to be too happy when he discovers that Romeo has eaten them all. One of you actually had a pretty good idea for his origin story too. To help explain why he was so far away from Baron, we figure he must have been part of Baron's original tribe at some point, but maybe his parents were banished from Baron's tribe. Since they do view these moles to be some sort of sacred creature, maybe his parents were never able to take one down. That might explain why he was so reluctant to accept Kaya at first too, if creatures are usually banished for being unable to hunt moles. So if Clyde's family had been banished, maybe this is where they decided to make their home. Maybe this is where he was born, and that means he probably doesn't know any of the old traditions. Something tells me his parents would probably try to keep that from him. Coca-Cola's probably surprised that he's been on his own for so long too. She would probably ask him if he has any family out here, but I would imagine that they all disappeared a long, long time ago, and there are many ways in which that could have happened. Maybe they disappeared on their way toward the Deadly Hills ports, or even toward the mountain for that matter. Who knows what sort of strange creatures are spawning near these ports? Or perhaps they wandered a little bit too close to the beaches and ended up falling victim to the leeches. The Berryinas are always a concern too, though I feel like he's a little bit less worried about them. We do have that friendly Berryina still roaming in the grasses with us, trying to stay right by Coca-Cola's side. In fact, I'm sure he's looking for a safe place for her to have her baby soon. It's only a matter of time before we see our next Berryina hybrid. But with that one extra berry in your pocket, let's go back to Romeo, because we want to make sure that he's putting some distance between you two. Let's bring him over to the water side so he can laze down here for a little while. I mean, he's stuffed full of berries, it's nice and hot outside. He probably just wants to curl up in the shade. But with those fish splashing around right in front of him, I wonder if they would draw his attention? Maybe they would lure him to the water's edge, where he can get a closer look at this very, very calm portion of the oasis. One of the few places where it might be safe for us to actually cross into the center. And considering that we have a clown koi down here right now, it seems like the deities definitely agree. Clown koi are a sign of good fortune, so maybe Romeo will have a nice calm place to rest after all. If he can settle down safely inside the water, that should help him restore all of his energy. And did I give you the wrong gem color? Yeah, I think I may have. There you go. Unfortunately, you have no connection to the bananas. Now, I wonder if Chess might be starting to realize that they really need to bring their family to a bit of a more sheltered place. Not only have they both been struggling, it's been too hot to move ever since they landed here, but Eevee is about to have her next baby too. She still has a few more days to go before she can settle down on a nest, but if we go ahead and pack up this one right here, I wonder if we could move it all the way over to the old prophet's tree. We know that there are still plenty of those termite hills around too, so plenty of opportunities for Cherabo to show his skill. Let's have Chess just grab the last berry right here. We'll have Eevee pack up her nest, and then Chess can start leading the way down the path. I guess we could probably have Cherabo follow, though I'm sure that he's still very, very concerned as to the whereabouts of that Berryina. Well, if Chess promises that there are plenty of termite hills in his future, that would be enough reason to follow in his shadow. Let's have Eevee jump up here too, and hopefully they can cross that gap on the next turn. For that matter, hopefully Baron isn't going to mind that his tree is being taken over by other creatures now. Imagine if his tribe mates finally came by to see if the danger was gone, only to discover that somebody else had taken over their old home. I'd imagine that would cause a little bit of trouble between the tribes. So far, all of our interactions have been very, very friendly, but I guess that's because Baron was all alone. He had nobody else to rely on, but at least that gave him the chance to find some new love. So let's have Kaya grab the root that was over here. Yeah, we have one right down here next to the oasis. Oh, Lumina, and it looks like you're being stalked by the Krabbits again. It seems like Splash really wants you to come down to the ocean. I mean, he's pretty much been glued to you through these Krabbits, assuming that he's the one controlling them. It's kind of hard to tell. At first I thought it was the Bandit brothers because they were being so sneaky. But honestly, in a place like this, with this giant oasis right in the middle and all of these water tiles to explore, I would expect that Splash has quite a bit of influence here. So for some reason, he really, really wants to get your attention. And maybe that's because he wants to push you a little bit closer to Bandersnatch. So as Bander dips his big Berryina claw in to grab a few more of those fish, we'll have you scooch up here too. We'll make sure that Baron comes over here to spend some time with the sun as well. That way Kaya can do even more exploring. As she picks up that root and jumps back into the grasses, we'll see if she can sniff out any more food for her son. And then Illumina. Maybe it's finally time that you ask Bandersnatch if he would start a family with you. I think this is our best chance of seeing the sticky tongue on our babies again, and I'm sure that seeing a little baby in the nest has stirred a flutter in your heart too. She used to think all there was to Bander was recklessness and fish breath, but now she knows that he is very, very courageous, and she knows that her family would be in good hands if she had him by her side. So let's go ahead and breed you two now. We'll just check the fertility first. Yeah, that shouldn't be too bad. Hopefully it'll only take a couple of tries. Well, one more turn, unfortunately. Maybe all we have to do is bring Baron a little bit further away. Give you two some actual privacy. Then he can spend some time by the water's edge. We'll see if he can find any more little clown koi down here in the algae. Though right now it looks like it's mainly just the normal fish. In fact, there are quite a few fish in there. Do you think that this area would be calm enough too? Calm enough for our creatures to dip their toes in and try to grab a few more fish for their troubles? I guess first we'll test it out with Romeo. I mean, this is where the clown koi definitely are, so it's gotta be safe. That has to be a good sign. For now, let's go ahead and skip the day. We'll zoom out over on this side of the island just to see if our friendly Berryina pokes his head out again. Are you anywhere around here? Following after Coca-Cola, making sure the kids are safe. It is oddly quiet. And you know, it just dawned on me too. Coca-Cola's family was the one who usually gave creatures fish to show they were interested in being their mate. We didn't exactly have her try to catch any fish before she bred with the Berryina, so I wonder if that's part of the reason why she's spending so much time by the water. Maybe she's hoping to snatch up a few of these after all. So Clyde can go ahead and spend his time just picking berries over here, as she waits for the fish to get a little bit closer. Oh, they are right there. That has to be so frustrating. If not for the increased damage, I would have you jump in for sure. Maybe that means you'll have to cross paths with Romeo again after all. Let's see if his plan is going to work. Let's have him dip his toes into some of the calmest land in the oasis. Aside from the fish swimming circles around him at least. Oh my gosh, I guess this is where all the clown koi were hiding. Well, we'll only know if this is going to work if you move one more tile. Yeah, he's definitely not taking any drowning damage. So that should mean that he's fine here. This should count as a safe tile for him to be. So you know, Coca-Cola, if you were brave enough, you could actually jump down here too. You might not even have to get your feet wet if they stay up against the shore. She still has a few more days to go before she gives birth, right? You have 4 more days, plenty of time for her to try to gather a few fish. Though I suppose her family will be long gone by the time she gets back. We'll give Cherabo his second gem, allowing him to dive even deeper into the grasses. In fact, he could probably light up the way for his family. Ooh, lighting up the way toward the guardian mole again. Well, Baron would be very, very happy to see that. I wonder if maybe Cherabo could take down the mole. It would be a pretty good test of patience for him. He is a little bit too wiry for his own good. In fact, all that noise that he makes might actually scare the mole away before he can try his hand at hunting. He is kind of out in the open right now. He's not directly next to the mole though, so maybe it still won't notice. Maybe there's just enough grass in between that the mole can't see that fiery red fur. So Chess, let's have you light up the way for your mate to get right underneath this tree, and she should be able to build her nest in the next turn. Just in time to have her next baby. Now let's see if Lumina's going to have a little bit more luck on this turn. There we go, much better. In fact, you probably don't even have to build your own nest. We could have Smoke toddle his way next to his father, as we give him that silver color, of course, to show that he's one of Crash's assassins. So this nest will be wide open for you as soon as you're ready to use it. Actually, since we have some extra time on our hands, maybe we should see if you can come down to the palm trees? I wonder if that's why the Crabbit was trying to lead you in this direction. You don't have to be right on the beach to collect coconuts after all. Maybe this could be some sort of compromise. You're still not here for the fish, but you would be willing to, at the very least, pick up a coconut or two. That wouldn't be such a bad place for them to set up camp either. Bandersnatch and Lumina both do have the nimble fingers, so they can both grab those coconuts. It might even be worth a little bit more food than your fish. So let's see if we can find a safe place. Not to mention you can still fish. We do have the waterfalls over here. So maybe you can catch some fish before the escape from the oasis. We'll just have Baron try his best to clear out all the grasses right around the nest for now, as we have Kaya slink a little bit further into the darkness. Any other routes out here for you? It doesn't seem like it, and we don't want you getting too far away. Oh, but there are those ever-tempting shells. Now, you won't be able to crack that open for us, but you can definitely bring Bandersnatch the news. He seemed pretty interested in the shells before anyways, so I'm sure he would like to hear it. But we should be ready to skip the day again. So let's go over to Romeo just to make absolutely sure. I mean, I'm pretty sure that he's not going to drown on this turn. We would probably see the icon if he was going to. Yes, excellent. You're perfectly fine, you have all of your energy again. You must be feeling on top of the world. Even more so once we bring Coca-Cola to the water's edge. You always wanted to find a good way to impress her. So as she slinks over to the fish, won't she be shocked to see you paddling your way straight over to that island? With a nest on it and everything, I would say that maybe you found your new home here, but I've gotta admit, this would not exactly be the best place to set up a base. Not only is there so much potential for danger here, but the babies would have to wait until they grow up before they can even cross back to the mainland. So there's really not that much room here to work with, and I think that would end up being more of a threat. That being said, if anybody's actually living over here, this would be our one chance to find out. We'll have him sniff around at the very least before he turns back for home. Now Clyde, you should have one more berry to pick, and then you can try to find Coca-Cola again. You probably don't want her getting too far away from you. You know firsthand what sort of dangers can be waiting here. Now we should be able to have Eevee go ahead and plant down her nest, with plenty of energy to spare. And Cherabo, let's see if you can sneak up on this mole. Oh no! Oh, I forgot that he's too hot for that second turn. Oh, Cherabo, I knew that you were going to let your reckless behavior get the best of you. Of course, he still hasn't learned to be patient yet. He's probably feeling so frustrated with himself too. But his mother will be here to comfort him as soon as he turns back for the nest. It would probably still be a good idea for us to bring Lumina over this way if she wants to build her own nest on this side. I want to make sure that her baby is going to have plenty of energy after all, assuming that they probably won't have the big ears anyway. But for now, we'll have them stay as close as possible to the palm trees, because the food is going to be our #1 priority. And Kaya, I guess this is your chance to let Banjo know about all of those shells in the water. If only we had somebody nearby who could see a little bit further. In fact, I think your baby is Smoke? Yeah, he has a 2 in eyesight. So does Baron, of course. Maybe these two could make their way a little bit closer to you. Let's have Baron scoot his way back here, as Smoke plays around in the nest again, I guess. He kind of seems like he's turning out to be a little bit more of a homebody, less interested in exploring and far less interested in battling with the Berginos like his mother is. Well, you know, we should probably breed these two again. Kaya only has 8 days remaining on her lifespan, so just to ensure that our scorpion genes are going to remain as strong as ever, let's have her jump back here so she can breed one more time with Baron. Yeah, and that poor fertility is probably going to get in the way too, so this might take a little bit of trying. That should be the last of our turns though. So Eevee, it's back to you. Let's see what your next little baby is going to look like. Oh my gosh! Oh, a beautiful orange sun. Finally a baby without the red fur, and finally a baby with the claw. His name is Comet too. Oh, how interesting. I wonder if he's going to be the type to very valiantly sacrifice himself for these red termites then. I mean, not in a way that would kill him, of course. We'll still keep him safe, but Comet is our god of sacrifice. It's interesting to see him pop up here of all places. This is a far, far cry from the jungles after all. But I guess it makes sense for Comet to watch after this challenge. Toxin and many others have probably joined his ranks. Now, won't you be happy to see that this Crabbit has finally passed away, Lumina? I would have Bander jump down there to grab it right away, but I think we're going to focus on the coconuts for now. Who knows if you're going to run straight into a leech after all. Now, if we could have Baron try again to breed with Kaya, or maybe have Kaya use her turns this time. There we go, that very last try was the one that did it. Let's have Baron jump down here instead. That way Smoke will be able to spend some time with his mother, and that way Baron can actually light up the beach. We'll have him stay right here for now so he doesn't put himself in danger, but if he jumps on the sand, then he can make sure there's nothing dangerous waiting here. I wonder if Coca-Cola would actually be more frightened for Romeo than anything else. She knows how dangerous these currents can be after all, or at least she has a pretty good idea. Maybe she would shout from the other side, trying desperately to get him to swim back. But he's a little bit too curious right now, and as he steps over here and sniffs around, we'll see if he can sense anything in the darkness. So far these islands seem to be pretty quiet. While there could still be somebody lurking in the darkness, it's probably nobody who we can bring back. I'm not entirely sure if these tiles are going to be safe. It looks like some of them are unfortunately right next to some currents, so I think I'll have to skip out on them for now. But he's not leaving without making sure that this nest is nice and clear for some of his future babies. I'm sure he's already thinking about settling down and starting a family, if only he could find the right creature out here in the wilderness. I mean, it's clearly not Coca-Cola, even though he's had a crush on her for quite some time, and even though he probably thinks that's why she's worried for his safety right now. He's gonna have to come up with a backup plan because Coca-Cola just finds him infuriating. If we could find some more wandering creatures out here, I could definitely see him being the type to follow in Vankir's footsteps and take on multiple mates. It's too bad that we don't have some sort of stumps that we could use. I'm pretty sure those only spawn in grasslands tiles, so it seems like we're probably going to be out of luck. Well, Clyde, let's take a break from the berry bush for a little while. We'll have you scooch on over here to grab this root instead, and you might actually have to lead Coca-Cola back to the nest pretty soon. It seems like all this stress is going to put her into labor. Now, I don't think that Cherabo is really the type to go crying back to his mother. Despite his failures, maybe he would actually spend the time clearing out the grasses here. That way he'll be well and prepared the next time the mole comes around. Wait a second. Oh my gosh, I didn't even notice. Comet, you've been hiding the stinky tail this whole time? Oh my gosh. He is a little Comet baby. I'm like 99% sure that Comet had the stinky tail too. How funny is it that? Well, it seems like you are going to be an excellent way for us to keep the predators at bay then. Not only with your amazing strength, just like your father, but with the stinky tail too. Oh, how interesting. So that means that's probably what he was hiding? Or I guess it could be Eevee too. Is the stinky tail more dominant than the fishing tail is? because if that's the case, then he probably has the fishing tail in his inactive traits. Well, I guess we'll find out when he starts having a family of his own. That's the fun thing about having so many wanderers in this series. You never know what sort of strange genes are going to pop up in the process. So let's go ahead and skip the day one last time. I want to make sure that Coca-Cola can build her nest, or at the very least, that Clyde is going to be able to bring her back to the safe ones over here. You know, I'm not sure if she's going to be able to make it back in time. I think after yelling at Romeo all day long, he has just finally pushed her over the edge. So we'll let her go ahead and build her nest right here instead. She can tear away at the grasses around her frantically, knowing that the baby is coming, and we'll have Clyde stand right at her side. In lieu of her Bergina love, of course. Now that she's ready to have her baby, that means he's definitely passed away. Somewhere out here in the grasses, there's probably the remains of our Bergina friend. It's too bad that he was never going to be able to last long enough to see them. I don't think that Coca-Cola herself even realized it. She probably still truly believes that he's out there somewhere just waiting for her to bring back their baby. You know, Eevee, why don't we have you jump down here to knock down some more coconuts? Oh my gosh, you two are getting so close to the ends of your lifespans. You might actually be leaving Cherabo here to take care of his little brother. I'm not sure that Cherabo is going to be much older either. He's 11 days old right now, so still plenty of time before he grows his third and final gem. These two poor little babies are going to be all on their own out here. Their big sister is far too far away and far too concerned with her own troubles to take care of them. So I hope you're ready to have the weight of the world thrust on your shoulders, Cherabo. I guess it's a good thing that we're spending so much time clearing out this land. Yeah, we'll have Eevee jump down here to knock down some more coconuts, and then we'll have her scoot on back so she doesn't risk hitting her head. Any little extra bit of food is good right now. And oh, Comet, I am so glad that you have that stinky tail. He looks like a fierce little squirrel from here. We'll let him spend that extra day in the nest, I think. And then Lumina? How many more days do we have before you can have your baby? 3 days, so it seems like that's something that we'll have to save for the next episode. And likewise, we'll see if Bander can grab those shells too. Oh no! Oh no, all of the shells are gone? Oh, every last one stolen away by those pesky bandit brothers. Well, at the very least, Baron, let's have you jump down here, so you can safely light up the way for Bandersnatch. That's still very, very risky though. Actually, I don't think we can pick up that Crabbit. We would need to have somebody with 3 turns because otherwise they're going to stay here in the water, right underneath the palm tree too. So they could end up getting dazed in the ocean, and I feel like that would just be inviting death their way. So Baron, let's actually have you scoot on over here. You can try your best to grab that on the next turn, assuming the bandits don't steal that too. So in the next episode, even more new families will be flourishing here. While we will unfortunately be saying goodbye to our eldest alpha pair, we'll be saying hello to Coca-Cola's family, and I guess she's going to be the newest of the royals. While Coca-Cola is rather separated from the tribe right now, I always felt like she would be the one to take on the alpha title. So we'll see what she decides to do in the next episode. But for now, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye guys!